Hey guys, the FM Gaffer here, and welcome back to my Juventus Let's Play here on Football Manager 2016. Now, last episode, I said the next game would be in the new season, and that is where I am. We're currently in the first Champions League game in the new season. We've played 3 league games in this season, but first of all, we've got to go through what happened at the end of last season, and luckily, we did just about wrap up the title. We had a little bit of a scare when we lost to Fiorentina, who are bottom of the league, 2 poor draws against Empoli and Sampdoria, but the win on the last day, I think a draw would have done it, but the win got us the title. So we actually had 2 great results straight after the Man City game. Fantastic 3-1 win in the derby against Torino. We were 2-0 up after 7 minutes. Serrano and Bielik with the goals. Berg got one back straight away, but then Bale's 70-minute goal made it 3-1. Guy did get himself sent off, but we held on for a nice victory. Then we absolutely smashed into 4-0. Dybala with 2, Barbosa with 1, and Dura with another, and it's 4-0 at half-time, and that's how it stayed. Great result. As I said, we did then lose to Fiorentina. Fetzfeldis with the goal. Antonici had got sent off, so we did have a bit of a disadvantage. Then a boring 0-0 draw with Empoli before a 1-1 with Sampdoria. Dybala giving us the lead. Chris Teg with the equaliser before we finally beat Pescara 1-0 on the final day. Dybala with the goal. So now it's transfer time, and there have been a lot of outs, and as you can see, not a huge amount of ins. Now from there to there, they're all transfers that I made before, obviously, the transfer window. So Jorge I did at the beginning of the year, same with Goncalves, same with Fernandez I did ages ago, same with Firmino. There were 2 others that got cancelled because of the whole 2 non-EU players from abroad. One of them was Biro, a youngster from South America who I'm quite upset about missing out on, but this save hopefully won't go on too much longer, so I'm not that bothered. And there was another one, I can't remember who. But yeah, Jorge obviously the main signing out of these guys. £32 million, left wing back. Him and Gaia, very interchangeable, both very good players. I'm good to have them both on board. Firmino and Correa, brought them in as attacking midfielders. I sold a couple of potential other attacking midfielders like Dani Ceballos, etc. This season, so you'll see names like that here. So I was glad to get Firmino and Correa both in. Correa 13.25 million from Bournemouth, worth already more than that, so that hopefully we can maybe be able to make a profit in a bit. And Roberto Firmino worth 33 million and signed on a free, so that was fantastic. Can't believe he's worth 33 actually. How old is he actually? 28. So maybe if we get 2 years out of him, sell him, we could get a hefty profit. Jorge Goncalves, as far as I remember, he's just a youngster, yeah, 17 years old, striker, finishing very good, etc. He's going to be great in the future. Similar, Juan Manuel Fernandez bought him for, I think it's 15 million. It was 18 million, but I think that's 12 million and 6 over 48 years now that it comes to, or maybe the other way around, I can't really remember. Goncalves was only the 5 million. So yeah, Fernandez looks like a very decent player, good finishing, heading and first touch, and he'll be fantastic when he develops a bit more. And finally, Lucas Velasco. We've got so many young strikers who are really good. Velasco, another one, although he can play attacking midfield as well. I think he is, he's best at attacking midfield. So another attacking midfielder we got in there. Good passing, good finishing, good first touch, etc. And just looks like a very good player, and again will develop very nicely. As of the 2 signings that we actually made after the deadline, first of all, Alexander Thomas. He's just another youngster that I bought in on the left hand side. I've been tracking him for a while, and he became cheap, so I thought I didn't really want to miss out on him. £5 million, 5-star potential ability, could become great. If he doesn't, we could sell him maybe for a little bit of profit. And finally, Renato Sanchez. Now what we really needed was a good box-to-box midfield. I've sold Bielik. All we really have is Ivancic and a load of like Adalso can play box-to-box. Adalso's playing box-to-box today in the Champions League. So, but one guy I wanted to bring in was Renato Sanchez. Again, he's actually not the best box-to-box player. He plays both deep line playmaker and advanced playmaker better. But I'm going to trade him there, and he looks like he has really good attributes for it. To be honest, he's just a beast player. £60 million, 20 million is straight away, and then 40 over 48 months. And I had the money because I did so many sales. Now we were in £80 million of debt. Sorry, sales. That was the word before. I just realised I didn't actually say it. Anyway, we were in £80 million of debt before the season started. We're now in £61 million in the black. Got a £66 million transfer budget and an extra 1.5 to 2 million in the wage budget. So we're staying pretty on in terms of that. Oh, we had a loan spell at Newcastle. I never knew that. Anyway, aside from that, yeah, it's time to talk about the outs on the transfers. So let's just do the fee thing so we get the highest fee up first. So Anthony Martial, we managed to make a profit on him. He wasn't going to get a lot of first team football, as we have a lot of young strikers that want to play. For example, Gustav Rosner has not gone out on loan. Neither has, actually, Fernandes, Manuel Fernandes, the guy that we signed from Watford, hasn't, only because no one would loan him, and I don't know why. He's a prospect, but nobody wanted him. Same with, well, Romero we've still got, and a couple of others. Andoni Serrano I've actually sent out on loan now. He was with us he was with the first team at the end of the last season. But yeah, Martial's gone to Schalke for 42 million. We actually made a £2 million profit. I was really happy to make that. We sort of paid a little bit over the odds for him, but we needed a striker back then. But yeah, we made a tiny profit. He's not played a huge amount of games, but he has got goals, so he's done well. Had a much better first season than he did at the second. And yeah, sad to see him go, but yeah, his total like transfers 155 million. He's moved 5 times in just the last like 6 years. What is that? That's 150 million. That's amazing from Martial. But yeah, moving on, second highest fee. Oh, is it going to keep doing this? Thibaut Courtois. Now, I wanted to try out Brashkovic, Ordero, and sort of Donnarumma, but I've actually ended up selling Donnarumma. But we also got Ibanez. So Ordero and Brashkovic are going to be our main keepers, and then we've got Ibanez just in case. So I thought, let's just sell Courtois. We made an £8 million loss. He had a good season for us, but unfortunately he's moved on to Man City. Bit of a snake, because he's gone from Chelsea, and then 1 year later he's at Man City. But hey ho, and you know, it is a loss, but I'm quite happy to make that, and I'm really excited about bringing some of these young players through. Next up, Christian Bielik, 25 million gone to Newcastle. That is a fantastic profit. We've sold him twice and made profit each time. I mean, we bought him for 9.75 million, made a 5.25 million profit. Bought him for 11.75 million, made another 15 million pounds on him. So over the whole course, we made about 20 million pounds on this guy, just in profit. And he's also had given us a couple of good seasons as well. Good backup last season. And yeah, he got that goal in the I can't remember which game. He got a goal in, but I think it was in the Inter Milan game, maybe, or the Torino game at the end of last season. No, I've gone too far there. Bielik. Yeah, it was in the Torino game. So yeah, he got that one goal. Don't know why. I looked it up. But yeah, he actually that was his only goal that he scored in his time at the club. So yeah, or at least in the league. Yeah, he got. No, he didn't get another one. What about here? No, okay, yeah, that was his only goal at the time of the club. But yeah, Newcastle, 25 million. I'm really happy to get that fee in for a player that was not the best for us. Next up, Dani Ceballos. We made a huge profit on him. He's gone to Bayer Leverkusen for 22 million. We bought him for 8 million from Real Betis. He was on the transfer list last season. He had a good season, but didn't get any goals and only the 1 assist. His average rating was good though, and yeah, I was quite happy to move him on. Flip. I'm gonna have to do it like this every single time, but got to deal with it. Abdelak Nuri. Now we've made a £3 million profit on him. I decided to cash in on him. He was never gonna turn out to be a first team player really. So yeah, bought him for 12 million from Ajax. Sold him for 15 million to Liverpool. Obviously had loan spells. Did well on his loans, but he was just never Juventus quality. So off he goes to Liverpool. Next highest fee, we've got Eric Lamela. So we've sold him for 14 million. Made a little bit of profit, about 2 and a bit million. Yeah, he had a good season, but he was, again, not Juve standard really. It was a decent backup, but to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of inside forwards unless they're Gabriel Barbosa. So off Lamela went. Next up, Zakaria Hamadi. Now we did make a loss on this guy of about £3 million. Now we signed him from AC Milan when we needed sort of the registration, and to be fair, that hasn't changed. In the Champions League, we're still strapped for registration, and like people are on holiday because I worked on fitness a little bit too long in pre-season training, and a lot of people have needed like 1 week breaks. So a couple of them are on holiday, and that's why we have a very similar situation than we did last season in the Champions League, at least today. So yeah, just Champions League qualification. I need to get some like homegrown Italian players because yeah, we can't meet the squad and squad like registration rules, and therefore we have a much depleted squad. But yeah, anyway, talking about Hamadi, he's gone to Rostov for 10.5 million in the Russian league. Next up we have apologies if you can hear my phone buzz there, just put that over there. we've got next up we got a lot of young players. So now I'll just talk about these. Don't really go into them. But yeah, Enrico D'Amico, player that went out on loan a lot, gone to Bologna for 6 million. Donnarumma, we bought him for 10 million, gone for 5.5 to Bologna. A bit of a loss, but you know he deserves to be playing first team football. Jerk Saliu, not really sure how to pronounce it, but he's been on loan at Parma a lot. I know. I think we got a profit on him, 5.5 million to Tottenham. Bigelin's gone to Arsenal, 5.25 million. You can see a lot of BPL interest in the in my young players. And the Saïla, the South African's gone to Man United. Piracini's gone to Man City, and Martin's gone to Tottenham. Tallarico's gone off to Leeds. Franco Ferreira to Catania. Paletti to Leipzig. Rauter to Parma. Daniel Salvi has gone to Southampton. Grunit's gone to Liverpool. Kuyata, okay, yeah, so Kuyata we made a profit on eventually. Bought him for 300k last year, sold him for $1 million to Zaragoza, as part of like the same deal with like Rodrigo, Eli. So yeah, we made just a quick profit on those guys. Company's gone to Espanyol for free. Sammy Malins, now I didn't actually mean to release him, but he wouldn't sign a new contract. I would have tried to cash in on him. But yeah, I did release him. I did then agree a contract with him to come back, but he chose the Palermo contract instead. So he's gone to Palermo, unfortunately, for a free. So missed out on a bit of profit there. Bit disappointing, but hey ho. Go back down now. Where were we? Okay, here. So yeah, Zanotti, he's just one of those guys that I accidentally, I didn't accidentally, but I thought would be good for the Champions League squad registration. That was a mistake, and I just finally released him now. We've loaned quite a few people out. I mean, there's still a decent amount of people on loan. I'm not going to like completely stop that. The key players, you got Van Lera, he's a good right back. Jorge Goncalves, obviously we just signed him. Serginho, who was with us as he was too young to be put out on loan last season. Velasco, obviously just signed as well. Clendon Toft, another good striker. I think he's Danish. Serrano, I mentioned earlier. Paolucci, still a very decent player. Barnett, now now that Jorge's in, he's gone out on loan to Middlesbrough. Ryemaker's gone out on loan, and Adolf also is a very decent player. All of these have got loan fees for, so I'm quite happy about that. Like Duran, Pasicki and Fiore as well. Yeah, just getting in an extra bit of money, which is quite nice. And all of these will be paying 100% of the wages. So yeah, I think that's finally us done on transfers. Let's move on to this season's results now. Obviously, I did my Juve League, Juve Cup thing, and my assistant manager did take all these friendlies, so if you see some bad results, this one for example, that is his fault, not mine. So yeah, I organised a tour of Scandinavia, so we went to Copenhagen, Aalborg, I think it is, and Esbjerg. I think the first two were in Denmark. Actually, Esbjerg, they might all three be in Denmark, and I might have just, yeah, they were all three in Denmark. That was maybe a mistake. But yeah, managed to get a 3-2 win against Copenhagen. Aalborg, we drew 1-1. Esbjerg, we drew 1-1. Feyenoord, not back at home, it was actually in Holland, got a 2-1 win, beat Utrecht 4-0. And then the Juve League, as it is every year, beat Herenveen, drew with Olympiacos and Astra, and we actually managed to win the Juve League. In the Juve Cup, we got knocked out in the semi-final to Red Bull Salzburg on penalties. Won the third place playoff though. Regular friendlies now, we beat Atletico, we lost to Empoli. Oh yeah, we lost to Empoli in the Super Cup final. This was really annoying. We got 2 players sent off after, we got 1 player sent off, went behind, and then got 2 players sent off. We were quite poor in that match, and it gave me a little bit of worry over the new season. But we've done decently. Actually, we haven't done that decently. I'm a little bit worried. But, yeah, well, okay. We'll go through that later. And then, obviously, 1-1 draw against Real Madrid. Decent result there. Beat Cecina 3-0. Beat Campobasso 5-0. And then it came to the opening day of the season. Really good win against Udinese. Hard fought. We were dominant throughout. And we finally got a goal 3 minutes from the end. Pogba did get himself sent off. So this was a 10-man Juve getting the win. We then unfortunately lost to Roma. We were really good in the first couple of minutes. Ivancic and Varane giving us a 2-0 lead, but Salah came back with 2 and Musa got the winner to make it 3-2. We did just beat Inter though, and Angel Correa with the only goal of the game. So our Champions League group is PSG, Fenerbahce and someone else, or Galatasaray and Copenhagen. So obviously we played Copenhagen in pre-season, got a 3-2 win, so that's sort of good omens. But yeah, today we have Paris Saint-Germain. I can finally stop talking and get into the match. I mean, obviously I'm still going to be talking, but less, because we've just been going through so much stuff. So yeah, this is the team today. As you can see with the bench, we've had a similar issue as we have in previous seasons. Rashkovic will start in goal. He is basically the #1 keeper now. We've got Jura, Zuma and Varane as the 3 centre-backs. Damian's on the right, Guy's on the left. Dalsov and Pogba in the middle of midfield with Firmino attacking mid, Rosner and Dybala up front. We've got Odera, Klosterman and Jorge and perhaps Bale, but probably not. I mean, what is his injury? 2 days. What's wrong with him? A dislocated shoulder, so I probably won't play him. But yeah, Klosterman, Jorge and Odera to come on. So yeah, let's get into the actual match now. This is pretty full strength, but as you say, we don't have a lot of options from the bench. Bale is a very, very last resort thing. So yeah, we do a nice team talk, good reactions there. Let's get into it, and hopefully this will be our first campaign that will get us past the quarterfinals of the Champions League. I can't believe it hasn't happened already, and PSG, I think on 2 occasions, have knocked us out in knockout stages. So hopefully we can get one over on them today. Zivkovic into Marquinhos, who's now back at PSG. Obviously, he was at us. We signed him in the first season, in one of my awful signings of the first season. Like, my first season signings, looking back at them, I was like so bad. I would have had a better squad if I just left the chances at all. Unfortunately, I think I've got a little bit better. Fortunately, I think I've got a little bit better at is Gaia finds Dybala, 3 attempts at it, and finally Perrin lets it in. Paulo Dybala gives us a lead just 3 minutes into the match. That's fantastic, and we go to the head of the group now. We are at home, making this tie a little bit easier, but it was never going to be very easy. And they're playing a bit of a weird formation if you look in the bottom right corner. But yeah, good ball from Gaia to Dybala, and 2 shots saved by Perrin. His defender just couldn't help him out, and he even got a touch on the final shot, but unfortunately couldn't keep it out. Daley Blind now for PSG in the Insta highlight. Alexandra, obviously a former Juve player, into Blind. Verratti now. Coutinho, Varane gets there. Dybala, will he play it? Okay, that's a decent ball towards Rosner. Pogba can't get there. By the way, Pogba and Damian might be leaving at the end of their contracts because they don't look like they're getting any happier. Unless we were like win the Champions League this season, they're not signing a new contract. I might try to sell them in January, but I wasn't able to get more than 36 million for Pogba. That's what I managed to drive Man United up to this summer. So I might try again in January and just cash in for about 30 million. But I don't know if it's worth it to be without Pogba for that long. Anyway, let's focus on the current matches of Dalsov. Good ball out to Gaia. Gaia, can he cut it back? He does, but there's no one there. Wait, that was a shot? It said on the down here in the text, it said shot by Gaia. So yeah, that was pretty awful if that was a shot. But here's Alexandro, his predecessor, I guess, at left wing back. Verratti into Blind, into Alexandro, into Zivkovic now. Verratti into Babacar with the snapshot, but was wide of the target. Good signings that PSG have made. Obviously, they got Marquinhos back. They've signed Alexandro. They got Daley Blind. They got Coutinho, particularly. Don't know about some of the names that I don't recognise, but yeah, it looks like they've had a decent save. Zivkovic, obviously, from us again. I think it was like a £30 million deal. Perrin as well, a decent signing. Kuma Babacar, I think he's a bit of a wonder kid on this game. If I'm thinking of the right Babacar, but yeah, Pogba's picked up the first booking of the game. Damian, Rosner now. Guy, obviously Rosner was out Red Bull Leipzig, is it? No, I don't think that's the right one. Red Bull, is it Leipzig? Red Bull, I can't remember which one, but he was at a Red Bull, the one in Germany. I think there might be 2 in Germany. Yeah, well maybe, I don't know. It might have been Red Bull Leipzig. Anyway, he was there last season and produced a very good display as Babacar can't force it towards goal, out for another corner. Zivkovic whips it in. Blind. Anyway, he played very well last season, Rosner, so I've kept him around the first team this season. As Zivkovic gets it in, Varane away, Verratti. In case you haven't noticed, I'm a little bit ill today. I've had a lot of illnesses as the like in this summer so far, surprisingly, although it is a British summer, so that's not as surprising. But yeah, so apologies if the my voice quality is a little bit low, but hopefully it won't ruin the episode too much. As Marquinhos finds Krambitter, another good signing. He must have just come on. Blind to Coutinho, Zivkovic, Marquinhos, back into Zivkovic, Blind. Good ball over to Babacar, but Zuma's got that. Jira can't beat Verratti to it. Babacar now just goes through Zuma, and Rashkovic has to save. Decent save it was. Zivkovic now with the ball in. Dalsov gets there first. Pogba will reach this. Will he play it straight first time up to Dybala? Yes, he's got 3 men over. 4 men over. Rosner back out to Pogba. Dalsov! Perrin with a good save. Lovely counter-attacking football from us there. Pogba and Dalsov. Dalsov, he obviously had that season before last where he was around the first team. Did very well. Perhaps a mistake to loan him out. But yeah, hopefully he'll do just as well this season as Pogba. Dybala with the shot. And that's over the bar. I think it was at Sevilla last season. So yeah, I think he did very well for them if I remember correctly. I think actually he scored against us in a pre-season friendly if I remember. Yeah, as I said, did very well last season for Sevilla. So hopefully he can bring that into this season for Juve, obviously. So I think substitution time is coming up. But Dybala, let's see this corner for Emilio Gaia. Oh, it's bouncing around everywhere, and eventually it's off Marquinhos for a corner, I think. Dybala, with the ball in, Varane flashes a header across goal, but that is unfortunately wide of the far post. And yeah, I think it's time to make a sub. Pogba, I think we'll bring... We don't have a lot of choice in terms of subs. So Gaia's looking fairly tired, so we'll just bring on Jorge, and we'll probably bring on Klosterman later in the game if necessary. Well, maybe even not necessary. But yeah, they're the only real things we can do to keep things fresh. Otherwise, the rest of the team's just going to have to manage to survive to the end of the match. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's going to be a huge amount of chances between now and the end. Might just survive with a 1-0 win here as Rajkovic plays that up. Oh, Dybala's beaten Marquinhos to it, but Marquinhos does recover really well after making the initial mistake. Takes the ball off Dybala, finds Zivkovic, Krambitter now, Blind, Verratti, Zivkovic. Zuma cuts out. Zuma looking for Dybala now. Marquinhos was a little bit out of position, but he gets back. Dybala into Rosner. Good technique on that shot. Obviously, I can't see it in 3D, but that looked like he did well to get a lot of power on that Rosner. But unfortunately, it was straight at Perrin in the PSG goal. And yeah, let's just make that second change. We'll bring on Klosterman for... yeah, I guess it would just have to be Darmian. And... make another wing-back change. I guess the wing-backs are going to be the ones that are running the most, as they're in this formation at least the only wide players, so it makes sense to sub them rather than anything else. But obviously that we haven't really got a choice, as Lucas Moura into Zivkovic, out to Alexandro, Rabiot, back to Alexandro, nicely played. Klosterman, very good, obviously just come on, and he does very well to thwart Alexandro there. Ball in again from Alexandro Jura, clears it away, and that's blocked by number 6, whoever that is. I think it might be Dalsov. But yeah, that's gone out for a corner now. Can't remember who was off, but Zivkovic gets the ball in. Zuma heads away. Verratti back out to Zivkovic. Varane manages to clear, and we defend well, but it's still alive. This highlight as Jura manages to clear to Dybala. Can we get a second on the counter attack? Looks for Rosner, but unfortunately couldn't find him as Blind finds Zivkovic now. Alexandro into Rabiot. Blind, Zivkovic. Jura cuts out, and Dybala gets it away, finds Rosner. Rosner, he's got a man to his left, but it's well intercepted by Rabiot, who finds Perrin. Only a minute left. Can PSG get the equaliser? Jura heads that forward. Rabiot, Krambitter. Lucas Moura finds Marquinhos. Marquinhos switches to Alexandro. Rabiot. Rabiot back out to Marquinhos. Cavani! This was the longest highlight in the world, and Cavani goes and scores a 92nd minute winner. Oh, sorry, equaliser. That's annoying. Good ball in from Marquinhos, and Cavani gets the goal. And that's just really annoying. It looks like we're going to draw this match. We really wanted to win this group, so it looks like we're going to maybe have to get a win in Paris. But yeah, I'm going to go aggressive. That was not good. To be fair, we should have had the game wrapped up. I mean, we weren't really that creative after getting the goal, and in the end we've been punished for it. So I guess this is the end of the episode, guys. Next time I will join you will be that Galatasaray game. So we're gonna have we're gonna try and race through this season as much as possible. Try and get to the Champions League knockout stages where it really matters. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode despite the last minute draw. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, smash the like button. Have any questions, put them in the comment section. And if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. I've been there from Gaffer, and I'll see you guys next time.